All right, Eric, floor is yours.
Thank you, Shannon. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for showing up at the press conference today. I just wanted to give a update on COVID. Nothing earth-shattering, but again, just want to make sure that before the July 4th holiday and the long weekend for many of us, that again, just kind of bring to light what's happening right now in Lucas County, maybe throughout the state and the rest of the country. I want to start off by saying that our numbers are low. If you remember, several weeks ago and months ago, we were extremely high. We're getting 80 per 100,000. We were getting, 50 cases a day. So we have come to a point where, we're seeing about 4.8 cases per day. I think last week we had a high case of 8 in one day, but everything else has been pretty low. So that's a good sign for us. And I think that's important. That goes back to, I think the amount of individuals that we've had vaccinated so far and the conditions inside the county. We have about 200,000, a little bit over 200,000 individuals vaccinated, which really is about 46.8% of our population. Complete vaccinated is about 186,000, or about 43.5% of our population. So again, it's a pretty good number. We do want to see additional individuals get vaccinated because we know that again, we're going to be dealing with the variants, and the vaccines have at least the messenger RNA vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer, are dealing very well with a couple of the new variants. Specifically, now the new one is the Delta variant that we're all concerned with. About 20% of the new cases in the country have been connected to the Delta. So if you remember, we've had the UK, we've had other variants in the community and throughout the United States, and they all seem to ebb and flow. So the new concern, of course, is the Delta. It appears to be more infectious, as we've seen with other variants before. The concern then too is, is it producing more illness or severe illness? Again, there's some research out there that says that it might be doing that, but we do know that it's affecting younger individuals, and a couple of reasons. I think the main one is that we have a lot of our elderly population vaccinated. So of course you're going to see more of the younger individuals who aren't vaccinated actually come down with COVID symptoms. The other thing about the messenger RNA vaccines is that right now we're being told that boosters don't seem to be on the horizon. But again, that could change, so that is a good thing. But stay tuned for additional information on that. The ability to get vaccinated, we continue to look at ways to get the vaccine out into the community. You do know that the rec center, we're turning back over to the county. So we've cleaned out the rec center, and so we transitioned to the community. Hey, Shannon, do you have the updated list for our vaccination sites? As Shannon's pulling this up, we do continue to figure out, how to get the vaccine out to different locations. This calendar you can find on our Facebook page and our website. But again, we're trying to figure out how to get vaccine out to, throughout the county. And again, trying to knock down any barriers. Some of these places that we're going to vaccinate have agreed to do some incentives as well too. So, again, there's the ample opportunity to be vaccinated. And the important thing that we need to remember is that, again, to be assured that, you can fight COVID off, we've seen that the vaccinations do work, and that's important to be vaccinated. We do want to try to get to that 70%, but, every percentage, every vaccine does count against fighting these variants that are coming in our community. We are going to be out at the fireworks on July 2nd for the city of Toledo. So again, we're trying to knock down every barrier we possibly can. Thanks, Shannon. Appreciate that. Coming over the next couple of days, July 4th weekend, please remember it's a holiday. We're going to have visitors from other states that may not be as vaccinated as we have been in our community. So just want to make sure that the community still understands that COVID is out there, and that we still should be making sure that we're taking as many precautions as we possibly can for ourselves, for our family, for our friends, and our community. So Shannon, I do believe that was the update that I wanted to make sure we provided to the community. We can open up for questions.
Okay, if you have a question, please raise your hand and I will call on you, and then you may unmute yourself or start your video to ask your question. Amy, go ahead with your question.
Hello. So, I feel like we're in this point where it pretty much feels like the pandemic is kind of over. We're not really having any restrictions or anything like that, but we still only have about 43%, like you were saying, of the county that's fully vaccinated. I guess, is that concerning?
Amy, if we're looking at the numbers right now compared to our vaccination rate, I'd say we're doing pretty good, and we're holding our own. I think the concern that, at least in public health and the healthcare field right now, is what's going to happen with the variants. Again, we're not trying to scare anybody or spin a story, but we don't know what's going to happen. So hopefully that the amount of vaccinated individuals we have in our community does handle any variants that come in, because we have the Delta variant, we have this Gamma variant, and believe me, because of the worldwide lack of vaccinations, these new variants are going to be popping up. So that's why it's so important for our community to understand that even though we may not be experiencing a lot of disease right now in the community, it doesn't mean that can't turn quickly because of another part of the country or the world influencing those variants that come into our community.
At this point, I don't think there's any other questions.
Great.
Well, Shannon, can I ask a quick question? It's Caitlin with the Blade.
Oh, yes, please do. Go ahead.
You kind of were getting at this already, Eric, but other states are worried about the Delta variant and are calling for people to voluntarily mask again, especially in public indoor spaces. Is that even a consideration in Toledo right now?
Looking at the data right now, the way that the disease state is, like I said, we're doing pretty good. We are talking with ODH almost on a daily basis still, even though, the disease state is lower throughout Ohio. And we're just going to have to monitor the situation. A lot of the states too, I think that are calling for masking up again, they might be very concerned about their vaccination rate. They're lower than we are here in Ohio. So I think there's some other variables that they might be looking at. It is interesting though, when you're out and about, that you do not see a lot of people wearing a mask anymore. Matter of fact, I was out at the grocery store the other day and I think I saw one person wearing a mask. So, again, the mindset definitely has changed about wearing a mask. And let's just hope that our disease state does stay low enough where, the ODH and or the governor's office doesn't have to go and, ask for mask mandates again, or just voluntary masks.
Any other questions?
All right. Well, thank you so very much, everybody, for getting on. And I did say that we were going to try to make this quick. Again, just want to make sure that we updated the community of kind of what was happening with COVID. And then, again, just making sure that we're going to go out and have a good holiday, but still remember that COVID's in our community and it still can be a threat for individuals who are